When your dog is waiting for you at night, what do you think they're actually waiting for? Most owners see the tail wag, the soft eyes, the patient body curled at the foot of the bed, and they think, my dog missed me. They think, my dog is so happy I'm finally home. Comfort, warmth, love earned through a long day apart. But here's the part nobody tells you. That waiting isn't about reunion. It's about something far older. And if you've been reading it as affection, you've been missing the single most important signal your dog has been trying to send you all day. Stay with me here. This kind of revelation is exactly why I started decoding canine behavior the way a detective works a cold case. Evidence you've walked past for years, finally coming into focus. If that landing just hit you the way it hit me, subscribe, because we're only 2 layers deep and the next one runs colder. And before we descend further, drop one word in the comments. Waiting. Just that. I want to see how many of you have felt this gap between what you thought you knew and what your dog has been trying to tell you. Your dog has been awake for hours, the house is dark, you're asleep, and they're lying at the end of the bed, completely still. You'd never know anything was wrong. Except their ears are turned, their breathing is shallow, and every few minutes they lift their head, look toward the door, and let out a single, silent exhale. Most owners don't notice any of this. Most owners wake up the next morning, see their dog curled peacefully, and think, what a good dog. What a quiet night. But behind that stillness, something is running. A 20-20 study by Bray and his team at the University of Colorado measured cortisol levels in 50 dogs during human departure. They found that 92% of dogs displayed anticipatory pacing at the door exactly 5 minutes before their owner's usual departure time, and their cortisol levels had already risen by 18%. Here's what that means. Your dog doesn't start waiting when you leave. They start waiting the moment they realize you're going to leave again. And the entire rest of your day, your commute, your meetings, your errands, your dinner, your shower, your phone calls, your dog is not sleeping through it. They're waiting. And waiting, for a dog, is not passive. It is active. It is biological. Now layer in what we know from Miklosi and his team at Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest. In a 2004 study, they found that dogs follow a human's pointing gesture with 78% accuracy. But here's the part most people miss. The dog is not just looking where you point. They are looking for confirmation. They are waiting for you to signal what comes next. That natural hesitation you see when your dog stops at the door and looks back at you, that's not uncertainty. That is a question. You're going to tell me what to do now, right? Most owners rush past this moment. They pull the leash, push the door open, click their tongue, and the dog obeys. But the dog hasn't received the signal they were waiting for. They just followed your physical movement, which is not the same thing. Here's where this starts to connect. The waiting behavior you see at night, the dog at your bedside, the dog curled at the foot of the bed, the dog who seems to be sleeping but is actually tracking your every breath, that is not comfort. That is not affection. That is not a sleeping dog dreaming peacefully. That is a dog running a security check, continuously, all night long. Wolf researchers like Meck documented this exact posture in the high Arctic pack. The one dogs look nothing like but still obey. A subordinate wolf resting at the edge of the pack's sleeping circle, eyes half closed, ears rotating, breathing synchronized with the dominant wolf's exhale. In wolf packs, that position is not for rest. It is for vigilance. The subordinate wolf stays close enough to feel the dominant wolf's heartbeat. When that heartbeat changes, the subordinate wakes. And here's the spine-sinking truth. Your dog learned this 30,000 years ago, and they are still doing it, every single night since you brought them home. They are lying at the foot of your bed, monitoring your breathing, your heart rate, your shift in position. Not because they want to be near you, but because they need to know you are alive. Because to them, your safety is their survival. And every time you roll over without checking on them, every time you get up in the middle of the night and walk straight past them, you are doing the one thing that terrifies your dog. You are leaving without saying where you're going, and they cannot follow. Now here's the inversion. That dog who seems to be sleeping peacefully through the night. That dog who doesn't bark, doesn't pace, doesn't scratch at the door. That dog is not relaxed. They are frozen in a state of controlled vigilance, and you have been reading it as calm. A 2011 study by Handlin and his team at the University of Gothenburg measured oxytocin and cortisol levels in dogs during paw-on-lap interactions. What they found changed how I understand that gesture forever. When the owner was calm, the dog's oxytocin rose by 58%. But when the owner was tense, the dog's cortisol spiked by 31%. The dog was not mirroring your emotion. They were reading your chemical state and adjusting their entire nervous system to match. That dog at the foot of your bed, breathing slowly, tracking your heartbeat. They are not resting. They are running a system diagnostic on the pack leader every single minute. Most owners don't realize this. Most owners wake up in the morning, see their dog still curled in the same spot, and think, my dog had a great night. My dog didn't move, but here's the part that should stop you cold. If your dog didn't move, they didn't sleep. A dog in true deep sleep changes position multiple times per hour. They twitch, they vocalize, they stretch, they push their nose under your hand. If your dog is lying perfectly still for 4 hours, they are not sleeping. They are holding themselves in a state of wakefulness that most human soldiers cannot sustain without training. And they are doing it for you. This is the moment the whole investigation pivots. When you realize that the stillness you've been calling peaceful is actually a silent crisis. Your dog has been managing alone. If this evidence is landing on you the way it landed on me when I first uncovered Handlin's data, then you need to be here for the rest. Subscribe. Because we are about to go into the specific protocol that breaks this cycle open. And I am building this channel for owners who want to follow the evidence, not the anecdotes. In the comments, type still. Tell me how many times you have woken up to find your dog exactly where you left them, absolutely frozen, and called it a good night. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up at 3 a.m. and found your dog standing in the middle of the room? Not moving, not barking, just standing. Ears back, staring at the door. Most owners say the same thing. They're weird at night. They must have heard something, and they roll over and go back to sleep. But your dog wasn't hearing something outside. They were hearing something inside you, a change in your breathing, a shift in your heartbeat, a micro movement in the bed that told them something was wrong, and they got up to check. That 3 a.m. standing isn't a quirk. It's a coded message. I need you to tell me we're safe. Right now. Because I can feel that something has changed, and I don't know what it is. And most of the time, you don't respond. You don't even notice. You just mumble, go back to sleep, and pull the covers over your head. Your dog learned something from that moment. They learned that in a crisis, in any moment of perceived danger, the pack leader will not signal them. The pack leader will not give them the command, we are safe. The pack leader will stay silent. And silence to a dog means one thing. Danger confirmed. Now watch what happens. Your dog goes back to the foot of the bed, but they don't settle. They curl tighter. Their breathing stays shallow. Their ears stay turned. They have not received the all clear, and they will not receive it for the rest of the night. And you? You will wake up tomorrow morning, see them sleeping peacefully, and think, see? Everything is fine. But your dog has been running a security protocol for 7 hours straight. They're exhausted. And you never knew. So what do you do about it? Here's what changes tonight. When your dog is waiting for you at the foot of the bed, before you fall asleep, do one thing. Look at them. Directly. And say 3 words in a low, steady voice. We are safe. That's it. That's the signal your dog has been waiting for. Not a treat. Not a toy. Not a head scratch. A vocal confirmation from the pack leader that the perimeter is secure. That there are no threats. That the pack can rest. Wolf pack leaders do this. They stand at the edge of the resting circle, scan the perimeter, and then lay down with a single low grunt. That grunt means patrol complete. Sleep now. And the entire pack relaxes. Within seconds. Your dog is waiting for that grunt. And they have been waiting for years. Most owners never give it. If you start doing this tonight, watch what happens. Your dog will let out a full body exhale. Their head will drop. Their legs will stretch out. Their paws will twitch within 60 seconds. That is not a coincidence. That is the first deep sleep they have had in months. And here's the part that will keep you up tonight. Your dog has been trying to tell you this since the day you brought them home. The foot of the bed curl. The 3 a.m. standing. The silent vigilance that you misread as calm. Every night your dog waits at the foot of your bed. They are not being difficult. They are not being weird. They are not being distant. They are asking you one question. Are we safe? And every night you don't answer,
Good morning,
they stay
sweetie.
awake. Tomorrow
Did you
night,
sleep
before you
well?
close your eyes, look at your dog. Say the words. Give them the signal they have been waiting for. And then watch what happens. Your dog will sleep like they haven't slept in years. And you will realize that the person who has been keeping them awake all this time, it's been you. But now you know. And knowing changes everything. Tonight, when your dog curls at the foot of your bed, you will see them differently. You will see the silent question in their posture. And you will answer it. That tail wag when you walk through the door tomorrow morning? Most owners are reading it backwards. That's what we need to talk about next. This is not the end of the investigation. It is the beginning. That tail wag I just mentioned is the next layer, and it will invert everything you think you know about your homecoming. But more than that, I need you to make tonight the night you actually run the protocol. Subscribe if you want to walk through the full decode of what comes after that wag, because the follow-up is where the real test starts. And before you close out, type one word in the comments, safe. Commit to saying it tonight. I will be reading every single response, looking for the owners who are ready to stop misreading their dog and start leading the pack.